Welcome to Art by Clark. I'm Mrs. Clark, and welcome to the prehistoric era. We are going to be doing dinosaurs this week, and as you can see, he's called the Hungry Dinosaur, and he is eating cookies. I wonder what your dinosaur is going to be eating. So just to let you know, you're going to need paper. You're going to need scissors, or as I call them, skizzers, glue, crayons, and markers, and maybe a pencil if you need that. And the elements we're using is line, shape, texture, and color. So go gather all the supplies and we'll get started. All right, let's get started. Now, as I showed you before, my dinosaur was hungry for cookies. Your dinosaur might be hungry for something that has to do with lunch. It could be a dessert. We'll go over some ideas. But just to kind of show you with our elements, because elements are very important, we do have lots of lines. Lines also create texture. We have the shape, like the circles for the eyes and the teeth. We have our texture, and then we also have lots of color. So we are going to be creating the mouth, and then we will be creating the head to go with it. So we have basically two elements here. But I do want you to know that to create this, we have to think about this a little bit. Do you want your head to be vertical, or do you want it to be horizontal? You will have that choice. You will be able to choose the color of your dinosaur. And just remember, your dinosaur is very, very hungry, so you don't want him to be angry. Yikes. So we have to make sure we feed him well. So we're going to have to think of what we want to feed our dinosaur. I'll show you a bunch of ideas that you can pick from, or else you could choose something else that I can't even think of, because each dinosaur is unique. So first things first, let's create the mouth. And for that, we need a piece of 8.5 by 11 white paper. And you're going to take your time and fold it straight up. A little side note, remember, if I'm ever going too fast, you can always pause, rewind, and get caught up. Don't get panicky if I go too fast. Now back to what I did. I just folded my paper in half. And if you see, I did it what they would call the long way here, you know, kind of the hamburger way, as some would say. Not the skinny, but the fatter way. Now that it is folded this way, we're going a little origami here. We're going to take the first page, the fold is on the bottom, and we're going to fold it down. Try to get as straight as you can, but if you're not straight, it's okay. And you're going to press. The hands should really press down there. And if you see, it now will be able to be pulled down. Oh, very tricky. We are also going to take this and fold this over the whole thing too. And do a press. And then bring it back up, just one of the pages. And now our mouth is going to be ready. But before we get started, we have a little dilemma. Dun, dun, dun. Let's bring our paper back. And if you see, the mouth is the same size as the paper. So what are we going to do? Let's see. Wait a minute. We can cut it smaller. Brilliant. You guys are thank you so much. I couldn't have thought of that by myself. So we will take, I'm guessing about maybe 2 fingers. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to make a little dot. Did you see me do that? Make a little dot. Then you could just take your scissor and cut it, but I'm kind of wobbly that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this up and press down to make a nice straight line. And now I'm going to cut. So again, I'm going to take my scissors, thumb to the sun, fingers to the ground, and never do it upside down because then you might cut yourself. Okay. Remember, a trick is you can always lock that scissor right to you and cut away from you. And we'll cut on that fold, and it makes it nice and straight. Let's see, that is about how big I'd want my mouth. Wow, it's very close to the one I did before. Look at that. So now we need to decide, is this dinosaur a carnivore? Is he a meat eater? Because he'd have to have jagged teeth. If he's a plant eater, he would have more of these round teeth. Since I've done the round one, I will do the spikier teeth. And I'm going to just use a marker, but please feel free to use a pencil because there's always an eraser on it. But I will take my marker here and keep it folded just like I have it, with the flap down and this up. And we're going to do a letter V. And remember, dinosaurs are very, very big. So we want big teeth. Nice big teeth. I'm going to do a smaller one. I might do one that's a little cracked. And then one that's a nice big one again. Now we have to do the bottom. We'll do one here. I'll do a smaller one. They kind of look like mountains in a way, don't they? Well, they are actually upside down V's on the bottom and they're letter V's on the top. Another way to help. And we'll do it like that. Okay, so now that we have the teeth, before we color this in, we need a tongue. Because, you know, they do have tongues. I kind of think of it as a heart shape on the top. Some see it as a very wide M, but you're basically going to come here, come down, and then come back over here. It's kind of like an M. Now we're going to color it in. You're welcome to use markers. If you use markers and crayons, then it is called a mixed media project, which this will be anyway, because I will be using crayons for the background. But I'm going to use markers. I'm first going to color in the tongue, a nice red color. And you'll see I'll come through and around. And I try to color as nice and neat in the lines as I can. Just makes for a better dino. And in one direction, like the band. Here we go. And again, if I went too fast on the teeth, remember you can always pause it and get caught up. Rewind. That is that's the best thing about video. You don't have to raise your hand and go, Mrs. Clark, you're going too fast. No, I'm not. So I'm going to do the background. Crayon might be faster, but I'll use a marker. And then I'm going to speed it up a little just so you don't have to wait for me to color the black. And then I'll get right back to you. right, now we're back, and as you see, I have a dino mouth, a lot different than this guy, if you see, jagged teeth. So, now when we go to open it, what is he going to eat? Well, I wanted to show you a sample of a couple different ideas that I've come up with. I'll use my Sharpie just to show you. Yes, we could do a donut. Donuts, oh, I don't, actually let's do a bigger paper there. Here we go, there we go. We could do a donut. Now a donut flat straight on is round, but if we look at a donut from the side, it's actually an oval. And then we could put an oval in the inside, and then we could put some icing on the donut, some sprinkles. And you can have a donut. Maybe we want to do a hamburger. We would do the bun on top. How about we add some lettuce? Maybe we add a tomato in there, the patty of meat, and then the bun. So if you see, we have a hamburger, and then we can put some sesame seeds on the top. When we color it, you would see all the colors. Maybe we want to do popcorn. Popcorn, we'd probably put it in a box. And popcorn, it just has some curvy edges to it. Bump, 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 as if you know me by now, it's the bump bumps. And you just do a whole bunch of those inside. And then you can put a label on it and call it popcorn. Maybe do some colors to your package. Maybe it's Taco Tuesday. Anyone want a taco? So a taco size would go up and around, so it's like a half a circle. Then you might have some lettuce sticking out of it. Maybe you have some kind of cream or some mayo, maybe salsa. We'll do some cheese sticking out and put a little texture on the taco. Look at that. And then we have like cupcakes. I like to zigzag the top of my cupcake and then do some lines for the wrapper. Then cupcake kind of has a cake, and then you do straight. And then you could do like some icing going this way. We can swirl it going that way. And then we could put a cherry on top. Ooh, look at all these ideas. I don't know, we could even do a hot dog. A hot dog would just be an oval. Then we would do a longer hot dog. Buns are always shorter than the hot dog. And then we do the bun on the other side. And then maybe we put a little swirly wavy line for the mustard or the ketchup. I don't know. There's lots and lots. What about an ice cream? Now you're talking form. You would do a cone shape. You would then maybe put some diagonal lines in for texture. Then you'd come in a little on both sides and then do a half of a circle. And then maybe you have some melted hot fudge on it. And then maybe a little cherry on that as well. Oh, I don't know. What about a pizza? Pizza's not hard at all. It's basically a skewed triangle. Then we have some crust, but remember it's curved because pizza's usually round. And then we put some pepperoni on it. This dinosaur can have lots and lots of goodies. So, if you don't want to do that, there's French fries and cookies and maybe he likes nachos and salsa or even a bag of chips. There's lots and lots of things that they can have. And if you layer it, then you're just adding space to your picture too. So, for ours, now I would recommend you always use pencil when you're sketching, but what we're going to do is I am going to feed him, let's feed him a hot dog. So he is going to have the bun, and of course it's going to be big. Just remember my cookies here. Oh, look at those cookies. So I'm going to do the bun, nice and big. The hot dog's going to stick out, and we're going to layer this back and then do the back bun on top. Then we'll do some mustard. Be nice to have some yellow color on it. And I don't know, should he have one hot dog? Or maybe he should have 2 hot dogs. Guess he could have 2 hot dogs. We can have one that's right here. But just remember, this one's going to go behind that hot dog. Stick it out. And this is now called layering, which is adding dimension. And this is going to be ketchup. You'll see when I color it in the colors. So we have 2 hot dogs. Now what I'm also going to do is, instead of keeping it all black, we're going to pop it and do some bright colors in the background. So I'm probably going to put a glow of yellow and then put a bright color because we want the hot dogs to pop. So I'm going to color this in using crayons this time, because crayons will give me a little more texture. And then I'll come right back to you. So we're going to speed this up so you're not waiting for me. And then we'll see how this all comes out. Okay, we are back, and as you see, my mouth now has my dinosaur eating a hot dog. Not just 1, but 2. And if you see how bright it is, I wanted to use some bright colors so everyone could see it. So now we need to make our dinosaur. Now, it could be almost any color. I've done my dinosaur this way, as you can see. So I'm actually going to make my dinosaur this way. But if you have colored paper, that is great. I don't. I only have white, so I'm going to use a little texture and make a cool looking dino with my blues. And I'm going to color using the sideways. Great thing about my cutting board, it has a lot of texture on it already, so you're going to see a lot of it come out. I usually use this as a base, and then I color a little darker. I'm probably going to add some lines for details as well. So now that we have this dark blue base, let's get over there in the corner. I'm going to go with my lighter blue and go over it. And then what I might do is add a little orange. Ooh, watch out, you gator fans. This is a dino. And I'm going to do some jaggeds. Orange and blue are actually complementary colors. They're opposite each other on the color wheel, and they're friends. They like each other. They work very well together. So I thought it would be nice to do it for some texture. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to add some more in there and try to make it a little smaller textures. So it kind of looks more like scales. But you are welcome to do whatever you want. If you wanted to do a rainbow, go right ahead. I'm pretty fine with it. Let's do one more in here. It's going to be a little slow so I don't go over any lines here. There we go. So now we have this cool looking background for my dino. So basically, we're going to flip this over, get the glue out, and remember, we have to twist until we feel the air. Ah, that means it's open. Just remember, it's not a volcano. You have to turn it upside down, wait for the gravity to flow it, and then just a dot, not a lot. I'll do it around the edges, but not right on the tip. You're just going to glue. I'll even do a couple others. There we go. Flip it over. We're doing just the back. Find a spot you like. I'm going to do about right here. Try to eye the middle. And push it down and wait about 10 seconds. Just, it's a number that keeps it down. Okay, so let's see. We're still good. So now we have to start doing the details to our dino. So you might want to look for some scraps around. I found this scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to fold it in half. I don't need all this, so I'm actually going to cut it, maybe like right here. And the very big focus here is that I folded it. And you might ask, why? Because dinosaurs have two eyes. When you fold it, you'll get two that will be the same size. So I will get my marker and make sure I don't draw on the teeth. And I'm going to do a rainbow shape. But remember, our dino's big. So I do a rainbow shape. And I'm going to close it up on the bottom so it's like a half of an oval. And then I'm going to take my scissors. And again, remember, cut away from you, and your thumb should always be on the top. I cut around, put my scraps aside, and now we have two eyes. If you wanted bigger eyes than this, by all means, make bigger. I'm now going to take my marker, and I'm going to draw a circle in both, or an oval, depending on how close I can get it. And then I'm going to do a circle inside it. I'm going to leave a little spot for a highlight. Highlights is just where there would be a light hitting it. And then we'll do it here as well. I'm going to keep it on the same size. And then we need to put the color into the eyes. It's called the irises. I'm going to do, I don't know, most dinosaurs I know have green eyes. I'm sticking with the markers, so let's find the marker. And I'm going to do the zigzag again. I'm just going to zigzag it from the big circle to the smaller circle. Just zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. And over here, going to do the same thing, because he might be a very hungry, angry or as I call it, hangry, which I am a lot when I'm hungry. And there we go. So you may do this straight up. You may want to do it down here. You may put on the angles like I usually like to do. I'm probably going to do it like that. You'll get the glue, and again, just a dot, not a lot. A dot, 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 dot. I'm not going to do the top because it's going to stick off. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing here. Dot, 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 dot. And we'll angle it. Try to match it. Hey, get out of the way there, sir. And now, I'm going to take my leftover pieces, kind of put it back together, or maybe I'll just do this one. I'll cut it in half. And I want to make eyebrows. But that might be a little big, so we'll shorten that up. Let me see if I can pick these up. Make it a little shorter. We'll cut that right there. I'm going to color it in black. I might just lean on one of my scraps to do that, since here's an extra. I'll take my black marker. Here we go. If you have waterproofs, if you have colored pencils, you can color with them too, or crayons. I'm just going to use my markers. There we go. Cool looking eyebrow. And now number 2, since I have 2 eyes, I need 2 eyebrows. And if you have your paper folded like this one is underneath me, you can always use that as well. Okay. Now we get our glue. Put some dots. I want to put some eyebrows on. Some even like to put like eyelids. I'm going to make mine a little angry. Here we go. Now let's bring that down so you can see it. Here's my other one. The more you angle something, the angrier something looks. The more you curve it, the friendlier it is. So my guy is looking a little angry right now. Let me cover his eye a little bit. There we go. So now he's really kind of angry. There we go. All right, last step. And I'm probably going to use what I have here. We need to do the feet. Our dinosaur needs to be able to grab his food out of his mouth when he's done. So I'm going to flip this over here. I've taught this quite a bit, but we're going to do a rainbow shape, and then we're going to zigzag it. Up, down, or you might see a letter M out of that. Since I had it folded, I should be able to get to the same size. If you don't have it, you just draw 2. Now, where's that skizzer? Oh, there it is. I'm going to cut it as tight as I can to get the extra. It's so much easier to cut when it doesn't have a lot hanging on to it. So as you see, I cut the sides, and that leaves me just the claws. Up, down, down. All right, we need to color these little guys in, glue it on, and then we will have our hungry, hungry dinosaur. So since he's blue, I'm going to make his claws orange. But if you wanted to, again, any color you need, any color you want. And I'm going to use crayons for this, a little easier since I have so many little spikes. But you feel free to use whatever media you got. So here we go. We'll do this one. And maybe I'll zigzag a little blue on top, and then we'll get it glued on, and then we'll be done. If at any point I went too fast, please feel free to pause, rewind, and go from there. Because you raising your hand isn't going to help for this one. Sorry, guys. But I cannot wait to see what snacks your dinos ate. Couple dots on this little paw. I'm going to stick it out here. Couple dots on this paw towards the top. Stick it out here. We always write our name on the bottom. I'll write it right here. And look at our hungry, hungry dinosaur. And he's eating hot dogs. But this guy, he's eating cookies. And what is your dinosaur going to eat? Can you believe this? Cookies and hot dogs. I better buy more food now. So I hope you had fun. Oh, the imagination just goes wild with these. So cannot wait to do another project with you. So until next time, bye.